Good everyone, thanks for joining me today. Uh, Apparently, yesterday was a serious mess because, you know, issues, issues with living in a third world country. But that's by the way. I figured out a way. I've figured out a way to adjust because I tried going live, but I was having network issues, but that didn't work. We'll do that again today. Yesterday, because of I'm not going to blame external factors, but I was having a difficult time drawing this Dan Mora's work. I'm going to be very upfront about that. Uh, I don't know why, but I had a difficult time drawing it. Let me show you the drawing. It was this drawing. Yeah, I can see I got my pose and everything correctly, but my problem was that I was trying to be exact, like to copy the exact pose that he did here, the exact pose that Damora had here, which is this one. And I began making a lot of errors, and it just wasn't nice. Like I was just frustrated. Plus, the live thing didn't work out, and I really wanted to go live yesterday, but yeah, it didn't work out, and I was just pissed off. I just went to bed. Yeah, but hopefully today's live is going to be a much more productive one. If you go to my live section on my channel, you're going to see that there's the first version of this, and that one was just horrible. It's just like 10 minutes, and it's just because I wasn't able to. Like I just had network problems. That's what I'm saying. So we're just going to start today's on, and we'll just see how well I do. Um, yeah, and quick Damora study. So like I say about Damora, his lines are pretty clean. Like his work is, well, I would say immaculate, like very clean. A lot of artists would aspire to be like him. um and his artwork, there's a lot to learn from drawing like him and just copying his style, like just studying his style in general. So that's what we're going to try and do here. So I'm just going to try and just use simple shapes to block out the character itself, and then we'll go from there. We'll advance. Try to keep it simple, and let's see if I succeed today, because yesterday I didn't do well. I'm going to be very honest about it. Like I was lost, totally lost. Hello, Amir. Nice to see you. I hope you're having a nice day. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Yesterday, I had a terrible day, man. I tried going live, but it didn't work, and I got messages, and I just felt bad that I couldn't respond to the messages because I was just having network issues over here. Our network providers over here are not reliable. Same thing with um, our electricity distribution company. So this place could be bright right now, and all of a sudden, in a few seconds, it could be dark because they are unpredictable. But you just have to find a way to live with it and just make plans. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's by the way, that's my problem. Um, you just have to be more tactical and strategic about it. Hello, Jonah. Bugat. I hope you're having a nice day. I don't speak French. I believe that's French, but it seems you are from France. Hope you are doing well in France. Hope France is nice. Uh, uh, Hope things are going well. Do you follow football? Johan, yeah, Johan. Do you follow football? Because I believe PSG are playing today. They're playing football today, Champions League, I believe. I don't know if you're a football fan. Anyways, continue. You just have to be patient with yourself, and I wasn't patient with myself yesterday. And of course, it's okay to make mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but I was quite harsh on myself yesterday. So since it's a digital medium, I'm just going to be use the medium properly. Yeah, so I'm just blocking out his frame. his entire frame, and try to be consistent and see how he's applying it. The problem about doing studies like this is you look at the art, right, but you don't see the whole process. So when you try it the first time and you don't get it, you'll be left discouraged. Then you try the second time, you'll be left discouraged. But most of the time, the artists themselves, they do struggle with the pose. So one thing I would encourage everyone, and it's an advice I need to heed myself, is to try and be patient with yourself and be more forgiving with yourself if you don't capture, the arts you capture. And I talk about him a lot, but it's because he's one of my biggest inspirations. Like David Finch, I was watching a live he did, because like this live of a thing, like studying artists, is inspired by his channel. Because I am copying like sort of what he has in his channel. It's a good idea, it's a good concept, copying artists that you admire and want to learn from, right? So one thing I saw from him that he said was that what he does with these artists, that with these artists that he copies, is that he doesn't necessarily, like he tries to learn from them, yes, but he mostly tries to make their style his own. um, so he has his preferences and artistic choices, and he's not going to put that to the side. In as much as he will try to show a bit of restraint when doing the studies, he's still going to try and allow his own um, choices still shine um, when like doing arts like this. So I think that is a good advice to heed, in my opinion. That's a good advice to heed. So I'm just going to add his pelvis. Um, the thing about his style that I noticed is that he doesn't necessarily need to make his characters bulky for them to look muscular or for them to look jacked. He just simply needs to give them a V taper, and they're already looking striking and physically imposing. And when you have that um, wide shoulder, slim waist physique, you look much more not just attractive but imposing in a good way. Yeah, so now I'm already seeing mistakes I'm making, but like I said, just going to try and be more patient with myself, and use the basics that I've learned. If you're just tuning in, please just give the video a like. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so if you could just help me out. I mean, get to that. I'll be so grateful. Anyways, going to his thigh. Normally, the technique I use is a tube. I have that tube in my head, by the way. So that is sort of what I'm using here. And then I have his calf, and then we'll have his leg over here, like this. Very simple. I probably think I made him a bit too tall, but we'll look at that in the adjustments. Like when I'm adjusting it. Now I think I made his shoes too small. It's a process. It's a process. Be patient with yourself. That's what I try to tell myself. I think I made his lower leg too short. I made his lower leg too short. Just adjusting that. So I'm going to take note of my negative space some more today. Um, and I think this is much more better and calmer. And I think I've gotten that. So whenever you're having an issue with a drawing, so sometimes once you just leave the drawing for a while, and you come back to it, it's not like you're a horrible artist. It's just that sometimes possibly your brain just needs a reset. Yeah, and I think I got the pose all right. It's not the best. I think the head could be bigger, more proportional, and I'm just gonna put that there for the hand. I'm gonna put that like that for the hands. The hands could be, his right hand could be further apart, so away from the, what do they call it, thighs. But I'm just going to leave that like that for now. Easier for my brain. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's good. I'm just going to adjust his head. Um, I could erase it, but I'm just going to use my lasso tool and just expand it a little bit. I think that is good enough. Yeah, and I'm going to be applying this to my own character at least. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Um, uh, take your time whenever you're doing these studies. The essence is to learn, not as much as we all want things to just go swimmingly, like, and very fast. um, Sometimes you just need to be patient with yourself and just take the time that your brain needs to get better. People learn at different rates, of course. There'll be people that will be faster at learning and getting things, and there'll be people that are slower. But you know, figure out your strengths. So I'm trying to say, figure out your strengths. And I think today I'm more relaxed. I don't know why. More relaxed than yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Quick rundown of what I did today. I think today was quite productive. I set out to do some things and I did them. Even though I didn't finish at the time that I wanted to finish, I wanted to finish much earlier, and I wanted to start this stream much earlier, like to avoid any bad networks that would eventually come. Uh, but I'm still glad I did it. So woke up and I started work on what did I work? What I work on? Yeah, I was working on my own comic. You can check out my comic. Link to my comic in the description, by the way. But I checked out my own comic. I worked on my own comic. I think I just sketched out storyboarded 4 pages. I think, yeah, storyboarded 4 pages. That took a while, man. Like, storyboarding takes a long time. I can't lie. Storyboarding takes a long time. That hand is quite big. I know like comic book hands are big, but that hand is it's really freaking big. Yeah, that hand is freaking big. Was freaking big. It has been changed. Yeah. So sometimes when you're having issues with poses like this, you could just draw the entire legs, like what I just did here. Instead of like calculating like this, I just calculated the negative space. You can see that's in little leg. There's diamond shape, the negative space, and you can also just do like a full drawing of the missing parts of the body, and then like sort of replace it, and you're good to go. I think we've done a decent pose here. I'm very happy with this because yesterday this was horrible, man, and the face, I wasn't getting the face as well. So I'm going to try and do like a character I was working on. Uh, just going to do his mask. I mean, I'm going to just put his mask on. But first of all, I'm just going to draw this Superman face that this guy that Nora did here. I'm going to try and replicate it before then doing my own thing, because I think that was one mistake I made yesterday. I was too confident. So yeah, like our normal center line and stuff for the face. Um, I think I usually that should probably be bigger. That face should probably be bigger, but I'll just adjust it. A mistake we make is that whenever we draw, I do make this mistake too as well. Whenever we draw a face, we sort of overestimate how big we underestimate how big the distances between like the shapes that we have are, and that just makes us causes us to make a mistake. And I think that's what I'm doing here, making a mistake. So I'm just going to do my three circles. Ideally it should be what, five? In front view it's five. One, two, three, four, five. But it's sort of like a tilted three-quarter angle, so there's supposed to be another space here. So I think this is good. I know it's a weird technique, but it works for me. It works a lot, I can't lie. So that means I'll just expand this part a bit more. I mean, it's a subtle thing, but it's something that can actually make your drawing look terrible. And especially if you are trying to get that Mora's face, it's deceptively simple. Um, because of it looks simple, but like to draw a face like that, you actually have to be good at drawing faces, and then you have to be good at like construction of the face, and it's something he's very good at. So I'm going to his lines are really clean as well. Lines are really clean. Yesterday I butchered this, man. Like, it was just horrible, horrible experience. And but you can see how I just use these little lines to just help guide me, and you can see how the eyebrows are proportional, and then he adds the eyelid. Very cool style. And then he like makes this eyelid over this area, his line width, and then he puts his iris. Very simple. Um, but like the construction process can be quite annoying. So eyelid, and then he does you notice the gap between the characters, between his eye. I think that needs to be longer. That needs to be longer. That needs to be longer, and that's good. Yep, no much detailing, but simple, effective, looks clean, looks good, and straight to the point. And your work won't look trash at the end of the day. You learn something every day, and this is why you need to practice art and studies as much as you can. Of course, practicing studies, like doing arts constantly, is yeah, indirectly practicing the studies that you've learned, right? So the more you draw, the better you become, and you're actually applying what you've studied. But uh, sometimes the studies themselves, like the techniques, you need to give out, time and to yourself to just go back to the fundamentals and just get better at them. Imagine this is the line for the nose. You have to take note of these little things because they look simple because of how nice the drawings are. It may look like these artists aren't following these techniques, but they actually are. They're following these principles. So our ear is going to end here. So, you know, basic construction. Then there's a bit of a tilt here for the jaw. And then the mouth is just like in the middle of the line based on construction of the eye. It extends from there all the way here. This mouth reminds me of a Justice League cartoon I was watching when I was young. What do they call it? I think the theme song was dun 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 dun. Hello Adam. Hope you're having a nice day. Um, yeah, the study is going great. The study is going great. The study is going great. I should have done this study yesterday, but I had network issues and I didn't want to do it like alone. So I just went to bed. I checked out those artists you were telling me about. The I don't remember their names, but the Final Fantasy artist and the Street Fighter Street Fighter game artist that you told me about. I checked them out. Um, the Final Fantasy artist wasn't my cup of tea, but I really liked the Street Fighter artist. I've forgotten his name. I wrote it down here. What's his name? Bengus. Yes, Bengus. Yeah, I checked out his work. I liked Bengu's work a lot. His work is very graphic. Like it's something that can that can go from like a children's that can go into like a children's book to like a comic book to like he could just like it looks something that is very versatile. Almost something like the MORA here. Uh, something like the MORA here. I hope you're having a nice day, Adam. I hope things are going well for you. Um, I really appreciate you showing up and the recommendation. Yeah, I got the face. I got the face. I got the face. Look at that. This just reminds me, like even the way he draws his eyes, like the cartoon I'm telling you about, I drew a lot from that cartoon when I was young. I just paused and drew it. Like he just draws his eyes like this, right? Very simple and graphic, and then he puts the eyebrow, the iris. Yeah, so he has the eyelid, the eyelash, and then like he makes these edges quite thick, and then like he could just add just a little line like this, and like that's really cool in my opinion. That's so cool. Let me check something. Um, just yeah. So let me just show you something. Justice League cartoon. Um, Adam, he said, I'm glad you enjoyed the artists, even if they are not what you like in style. It's good to know what you don't like. There's another Final Fantasy artist, and I'm not a fan, but I study his style to not draw. I study his style to not draw. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like I enjoyed Bengu's art style. Bengu's art style is my taste. It's not something I would like. I wouldn't want to draw it, like draw like that. But you don't always have to want to draw like from a character, like a particular artist. Sometimes you just take note of them so that you could actually see something from their art that you could learn. It could be maybe the way they draw rocks, the way they draw um, robots. It could be the way they draw the sky. It could be some random thing like their angle of perspective. Like the guy that did what's his name of that manga? Forgotten his name. Yukinobu Tatsu, right? What's the name? Dan Dan Dan. Like I like his perspectives. Like there's this fish eye perspective that he usually does that is really cool. I've never like tried to implement it because I don't know a lot about perspective, but like just something like that. I wouldn't like to draw in his art style, but that perspective and the way he executes it is just marvelous, and it's just really cool. So that's how you could just learn from different artists. So I might not like want to draw like them, but it's something I can definitely pick from those artists. Yeah. So this is the Justice League I was talking about. If you look at the Superman in this Justice League, I don't know if there's a yeah. If you look at the Superman, I hope you can see it clearly. Um, if you look at the Superman, if you look at his eyes, you can see how simple it is. It's like the Damora. Damora's art just looks like something that can be um, put into like an animated show like this. But he just goes a bit more in detail because it's a comic book, right? Animated shows, they have to, not be so detailed because it's a lot of work. But his art style kind of reminds me of this comic book. It's very friendly and it's just cool. I remember drawing a lot of scenes from this Justice League cartoon. I think it's one of the best superhero cartoon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The double chin Superman. Yeah, yeah. His jaw is just crazy. His jaw was just crazy. Like his jaw could split an atom in two. Yeah, and the Batman too. Um, really cool. Like even like normal other like recent animated shows, like this Justice League that was animated that like the storyline was gotten from this Jim Lee. I don't know who wrote the book, but I know that Jim Lee was the artist. I think he did like 5 or 6 issues in that comic book run, the Justice League, where Darkseid was invading Earth. So if you look at the way they draw the eyes, this one isn't exactly how yeah, this one is not like it. I don't know, man. For some reason, I don't like the way this Superman looks. I even like this more cartoonish Superman, and I'm someone that likes realism a lot. I like this Superman more than this one here. I don't know why, uh, but I just like this Justice League more. Even though they were inspired, the recent one I just showed you was inspired by Jim Lee's art. Yeah, for me that's just my preference though. Anyways, going back to it, like his eyes are really cool. um and you can see also take note of his line weight. He also like the areas whenever you see artists add line weight in certain areas, it just means that that area there's less light like going to that area. And someone like Damora isn't going to use black to just cover this area in black like this. No, he wouldn't do that. He'll just let the colorist, as you can see here, the color is just did like a cell shading of a darker tone of his skin at that area. Dan Mora is not going to put pure black over here in his ear. At least I don't see it a lot. It's like he just doesn't want to do anything that's going to hurt the maybe the handsomeness of the character, um, even a little bit. So that's just Damora though. Yeah, Jim Lee, the goats. Do you like Batman Beyond? I like the art style too. Batman Beyond. I you mean the cartoon, right? Those that early one. what's the name? That the intro was kind of like rock music. Is that the one, or is it like a new comic that Jim Lee is working on? I don't know. If you're talking about the cartoon, yeah, I like Batman Beyond. Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the yeah. They usually showed it on TV. Um, like the time that they showed it, it was very unpredictable. Sometimes it would be around 3 p.m. Sometimes it would be around 4 p.m. Sometimes it would be around 12. When I was young, but and because of network, it was always blurry. Um, but I really liked it. Like there were so many interesting stories. I liked the alternative take on Batman and like how Bruce Wayne was old and things like that. Yeah, I believe that's the one you're talking about. Unless there's another one. Anyways, I will transform this into my character later on, but I just sort of want to get, you know, how like that MORA has drawn his this one. Let me increase the brush a bit more. And then his arm muscles, deltoid area. Um, there were a lot of really great cartoons when we're young, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm no longer a child that I don't keep up with them, but I don't see much like shows like that are as great as that. I remember one Avengers I watched as well when I was younger. They were really great shows, man. Um, and I remember them because I drew a lot. I would buy the cassette because I couldn't you couldn't there was no channel, like there was no Netflix or somewhere you could just watch them. So I bought the cassettes and I would watch them first of all for entertainment, and then once I was done, I would like take mental notes of what I want to draw, and then I would get my mom's handouts, lecture notes, and then just the back of her lecture notes, the ones that she wasn't using anymore, and I'll just draw from there. Yeah, those were good times, man. Those were good times. Yeah, you said same. They don't make shows and games like that anymore. The heart is kind of gone. Yeah, like why I liked them, like looking at them now as an adult, but like that time they told really good stories, man. Like they told really good stories. They had great messages, moral messages. They were very. You could tell that the people who made the stories, they had love for the work, for the medium. They had love for art itself. I'm not saying the guys that are making them now don't have love for it. Um, a lot of the time, it just feels like a lot of the stories that are taken are overly focused on the message, rather than going doing cool stuff and like entertaining, or like I don't know if what I'm saying is even correct, but like even when I was younger, like I remember when I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and to me it's one of my favorite stories ever, like that I've ever read. And I watched that when I was like, what? How old was I? I was quite young, at 13. That was when I started watching Avatar: Last Airbender. What? 13? 12, between 12 years old and 15, I think. I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and even at that naive age, like I felt so inspired by the characters. Um, Katara wasn't my favorite character, but like the character, she always annoyed me. But I liked all the characters. These days, whenever you watch a story, there will definitely be characters that annoy you, but it's not like you like them. Like you don't even like the character at all. Like you can't even see their point of view. I don't know, man. Um, you said I think there will be another great time. time shared of us, as we have so many upcoming talents in a lot of fields. Yeah, definitely. What's this thing they talk about? Life is cyclical, right? So, good times come, and then it creates weak art or whatever, and then weak art creates bad time and bad experiences, and bad experiences creates great artists and great creators, and then great creators create great art, which creates lazy artists or whatever, bad artists, and the standard drops because of too much good things. um Anyways, I don't know if you got what I mean. Yeah, cyclical. You just you just have to maybe be patient with the industry, or if you are not satisfied with what is being created, you create your own. We all have agency and free will, so if you don't like what's being created, that's why there's a rise in indie artists, and um most artists, after they've made their bag in maybe some of these big industries or big companies, they leave the companies and then go ahead to work on their own projects with the maybe cash or whatever that they've gotten from the company, from working in those companies or those big industries. They just go and do their own thing. You can see how he just simplifies his obliques over here. It's quite cool. Like, different artists would make different choices. I know Jim Lee, uh, he doesn't focus too much on detailing the abs himself. Like, he would just hatch this whole area. Like, he would just, like, his hatches are crazy, and I love how much value the hatches sort of add to the work of like Jim Lee. I'm going to do a study of his works later on. Like, he does a lot of hatching. Like, if you think Jason Fabok does hatching, um, or David Finch does hatching, you should check out Jim Lee. He hatches a lot. You said you're drawing on a tablet, so it's hard to do perfect circles. Yeah, funny enough, I do. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's quite difficult. Yeah, it's quite difficult. Do you mean like a traditional tablet, traditional drawing tablet, like with pencils, or do you mean like digitally? Or if you mean traditional uh, drawing tablets, I get what you mean. It can be quite difficult drawing circles, but digitally it's easy because like on Procreate over here, you could just do this and then do this, and you have a perfect circle. But even though, like, the perfect circle thing, I don't use it a lot. Like, I drew this head, I didn't use a perfect circle. I don't know, I just have more trust in my own self. And the more you draw, the more you want to enjoy the process of, like, drawing from scratch. And I don't know, it just feels a lot better sometimes. I use perfect circles when I'm drawing like infrastructures or something like that. Okay, say you're using a small digital tablet. You want to try screen drawing eventually. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What device are you using? Are you using like a Samsung, an Apple, or like what do they call? What are these other versions? Wacom. I think Wacom has a tablet um as well, small tablet. Um, what are you using? Okay, so you work traditionally. Wacom in tools. Yeah, Wacom in tools. Yeah, I remember when I started using that's like Wacom products are really good. I can testify. Like, whenever someone asks me like what's the best product to use, I'll say if you are looking for convenience, just go for Apple, like iPad Pro, because you can take it anywhere, you can draw anywhere. It's very convenient. It has its own like operating system and stuff like that. But if you are looking for like quality, like, and a product that is also going to last as well. The Apple product will last as well. Um, you go for Intuos, in my opinion. Not Intuos, I mean Wacom. Their products are so good, man. Their products are so good. Um, so I started with a Wacom bamboo, and it was a third hand. I bought it from a friend of mine. Uh, it was one of the happiest days of my life, to be honest, because I remember saving for over a year to get it. Um, and I was just coming out from secondary school, I think, uh, getting into university. I saved. I was just eating oranges like throughout the year to save up for that tablet. Oh, you said bamboo is difficult. You gave that away. Oh, I don't know. I really enjoyed that one. Although, like, I enjoyed it also because it was also durable. I used it for a very long time. I think for like 2, 3 years. I think I used it for like 2, 3 years, and then I sold it to someone again, and my friend is still using it up to now. He does video editing and like graphic design and stuff like that. So he uses it quite a lot. Like I won't lie. Like when I used the bamboo, I created some quite mediocre arts. Like the art I use, like my art journey has been quite weird. Like whenever I look at a lot of the art I created before, I would cringe, man. Like they were terrible, terrible, absolutely terrible. I remember when I was like obsessed with Ross Draws, Ross Strand, I believe, and I was copying his art style. Lord, you need to have seen the art. Like it was just horrible, and it especially worse when you don't like know like art fundamentals, and then you're copying an artist, and you can't even navigate things like and because of how skilled they are, they could just improvise, use certain brush sets and things like that, and it would just confuse you and throw you off. And that was my reality. So but I've gone off it now. I've gone off it. He's a great artist, one of my favorites, but I don't think like paint. I found my art style, and the art style I found was heavily inspired by maybe Ruiz and Mazarat. I don't know if you know those guys. Yeah, you said yeah, it's still better than the mouse. Yeah, definitely, still better than the mouse. Still better than the mouse. I remember when I started, I was using the touchpad on my dad's laptop, and I wasn't even drawing like per se. I was just doing this tracing style that was pretty popular at that time. There's a lot of tutorials on it where, like on Photoshop, you would use the pen tool on Photoshop and then trace a real image and then trace the line across the real image and then like create a line, sort of like a line art. It was just mid art, man. I can't lie. Like if I show you the work, it was just, and it took a lot of time. I was using touchpad. I remember in our house would turn on the generator and would like I would just be used like just steal my dad's laptop and just use it. Like I installed Photoshop there and I was just working. You said you keep hearing about Morpho anatomy book for artists. You keep hearing about Morpho. Gotta check that out. Yeah. I heard about Morpho too. He has like different like versions. What do they call them? Is it editions of his book? He has it's a very helpful book, man. Like very helpful and useful. Um, I'm going to do some studies from those books later on. I have it here. I have the digital copy. I don't have the traditional. I say traditional, the physical copy. Um, yeah, he's a really good artist. It's really cool. The series. I mean, The way he breaks it down, I like that he actually sketches everything. Like he draws it, and it's just because of how he draws it, he just makes it cool, and he makes it feel like doing it is possible. Although that can be deceptive at times because you then go in thinking you could handle it, and you just embarrass yourself. And yeah, but his books are good. Yeah, Peter Han Dynamic Bible. I also have that one. Peter Han is a really great artist. Like I saw the book. I glanced through it rather, and I saw how he was. I think he was talking a lot about perspective. How to draw. I think in one of the pages in the book, he was talking about how um, like he would draw like a normal car from the, would I say, 50s or 80s, I don't know. He drew a car from the 50s, I think, and then he he twisted, he contorted the perspective. He drew a normal car, and then he drew it in a different perspective, and that was just absolutely amazing. um yeah, Peter Han, I know I've known about him for the past 4 5 years now. He's pretty good, he's pretty awesome. Where did I first see him? I don't remember. Was it Proco on Proco's channel or something like that? Okay, you said you're watching Peter Han now. I think he has a YouTube channel, I believe. Um, yeah, he's why I like his style too is I don't know why, like, these artists, they have really cool comic book styles. You could just see them doing like a magnificent comic and it would sell, and like they could just tell an amazing story with their art style, but they don't. His style kind of reminds me of what's his name of this famous artist, God rest his soul. uh I think he was South Korean. Forgotten his name. uh God, I forgot his name, but he's late now. He's one of the like greatest artists I've ever seen in terms of figure drawing and like drawing from memory. Yeah, Kim Jong Gi, exactly. Kim Jong Gi. Yeah, Kim Jong Gi. That's his name. Yeah, that guy is awesome, man. That guy is awesome. Yeah, his arts. Peter Han's art reminds me of Kim Jong Gi. Yeah, yeah, really amazing, man. Um, yeah, like the way he could just like scribble, he draws like he's writing. Like, can you believe that? He draws like he's writing. Like, what is that? That is just insane, man. He draws like he's writing, like as if he's just writing his name, and he'll just fill a whole whiteboard with art. That's just crazy, man. That's just ridiculous. Um, He said you didn't know he passed until recently. It was a big surprise for someone that didn't even reach his final form. It's unfortunate. Yeah, like you see him and you believe like this guy is like, um, you know, what more is there to learn? But he still has levels to go. Like he always, I don't know, man. Like, I believe in like training yourself like to get better at art and like practicing and like having skill and all that. But like Kim Jong Gi actually had talent, man. There's nothing you can tell me. That guy had talent, and apart from that, he had talent, and he also had like diligence in how much he like practiced drawing. Like he would draw for hours, like crazy. You have to respect his discipline. But I also believe he had great talent, man. I believe he drew from memory a lot. Like I know that's a practice, but like there's just too much great art for me around the world, and too much great artists for me to copy from. That I just don't see myself drawing from like memory just like that. I would do it like maybe like when I'm doing my comic, But like to do it just like that, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. He said, I'm not a fan of his style too much, but his ability to do anything from imagination changed us forever. Yeah, like he pushed the envelope. Like he he questioned what would I call it now? He he made people see new like artists see what is possible as an artist. Like even though like I wouldn't want to draw like Kim Jong Gi, but you have to just admire him as an artist. Um, you just have to like that is just generational ability, generational. Yeah. So yeah, I believe I've done an okay job. Let me just add the blacks now. Let me first of all put sort of like my the characters um like proper costume. So it has some of this here like this. Just sort of have to follow the form and let it contour around his arm, and then this is going to change. The form is going to change a bit. Uh, yeah, I think it's going to change like a bit like this. And then I'll curve this like this. I think it goes all the way down. Yeah, I'm not doing this well. I'm not doing the contour well. I want to add this like this. Like this. Like that. Yeah, I think later on we'll fix the thing on his around his hands. I think it's okay like this. And then for his right hand, now it's supposed to go like this. And then yeah, I'm just applying the details of my own character's costume. Um, and then I have to be consistent with the form of the muscle, the extensor muscle over here. You can see how it sort of twists. Yep, I think I'll leave that at that. I think that's okay. Mm, might erase this one. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, let's add some blacks. Now there's actually something else. There's there's a strap around his legs here. The strap around. You said, did I ever do the 250 box challenge from Draw a Box? You're working on it. You know what? I've never done it. I've never done it. I plan on doing it because I plan on studying perspective. Um, I've never done it actually. Perspective is one of my weak points. as an artist. Like, but it's something I'm going to work on. I plan on working on it, but I've never done the challenge. I've never done the challenge. Um, how many boxes have you done so far? Like, or have you done like the 250 box and you're doing it again? How many times have you done it? I've seen it. I've seen the challenge, but I've never done it personally. It's quite useful. I believe I watched some videos. Whenever I just see perspective puts the fear of God in me. Like anatomy was difficult. Studying anatomy was difficult, but I've gotten used to it. But perspective scares me a lot. Like I won't lie, like it scares me a lot. Like it just looks there's just a lot of ways that things could go. But when I begin studying it, I'm going to make videos on what I've learned and uh, talk about it a lot more. And probably I'll forget a lot about like the anatomy I've learned. You say it's pretty good in your experience. You taught you new boxes in perspective, but he really shows you on a technical level. Yeah. I think I watched just one of his videos. I just watched one of his videos, and I believe he has a website. I think. Yeah, I will do it definitely. I will do it. Um, I will do it. Um, I think I'm done with anatomy. I just need to. The only thing remaining in anatomy for me is the foot. Um, just the foot to make a video on the foot, and I think that'll be it. I'll probably just do like a video on the whole body, and to just sort of show how it is or how it looks. Yeah, I think that would just be it. You said which book? Are you talking about the perspective book that I'm going to look at? I downloaded some books on perspective. I think just one or two. I've forgotten their name because I haven't like properly looked at them. But there was one popular one I looked at. I don't remember the name. Let me check it out here. I saved it. Oh, that's a different thing. Um, let's see. Uh, where is it? Arts resources, and then let's see. I got this perspective without pain, and I got perspective made easy by Norlin, I believe is the guy. And then the one I'm really looking forward to is Space Drawing Perspective. Uh, I think that's the name. Space Drawing Perspective, Volume 1. What's the name of the guy? By Dong Ho Kim. Yeah, that's the one I'm really looking forward to because there are a lot of exercises in that book. Um, yeah, and thank you for the compliments on my character. Uh, I have a lot of these characters that I just designed and drew, uh, and I just have like brief stories about them, but I've not properly plotted out the stories because I'm currently working on one, so I'm just focusing on that one. All my energy is in that one, and yeah, I just have to be faster so that I can get out all the stories in my lifetime because they're a lot of work. They are a lot of work. Yeah, from Ocean PDF. Yes, Ocean PDF is the what do they call them now? That's the hub for I don't want to say pirates, but for people who can't afford to get the books. Um, like even fictional books as well. So yeah, Ocean PDF man, amazing platform. I've been able to get really good books, and a lot of the books that are for arts and stuff. you most times you can't really get them here like that. um you can't really get them here, so you just have to, and even if you get them here, the art bookstores are going to they're going to want you to sacrifice your firstborn and a family member before they will be able to give you the book. So it's just better to go online and just do the needful and be Captain Jack Sparrow. It's not like I want to be on the dark side. It's just my pockets doesn't align with my morality. My morality exists, but my pocket is not in compliance with my morality. So yeah. Yeah. I did tell you some days ago. Very useful sites, man. And what I've noticed about a lot of these books is, the exercises that are there. They can look boring, but once you actually do them, you will get better. You will. It will take some time, and it can be, tiring and frustrating. But yeah, well, with regards to anatomy, um, this anatomy for sculptors has helped me out a lot. So I can attest that a lot of these books are actually really good. One, two, three. One, two, three. This guy does look ridiculous having this weird stuff on his legs. His calves must be crazy. Bookstores are too much. Yeah. They are, man. They are. They are. They are. They would want you to make a burnt offering before you're able to get a book. And I could just get it digitally. And of course, I would like to have a big and fancy bookshelf, especially for manga arts. Like a lot of my favorite comic book artists. Like one thing I would want to get when I get rich, whenever that happens, is I would like to get Greg Capullo's Batman. I think that is one of my like favorite comics. Like his artworks like so cool, and a lot of David Finch's work too. Um, and yeah, like every single volume of in Inoue's work, all of his works, from Real to Slam Dunk to Vagabond. Yeah, those are the first things I would get. And Yusuke Murata as well. Yusuke Murata's artwork is peak. One of my favorite. And Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga. These are the guys that put at like S tier in my mind. Like S tier artists. Like these are the guys that like I would want to draw like, or like I've noted in my head, in my subconscious, that yeah, if there's anybody like to learn from, it's these guys. Like I have a thing or two that I pick from them every single time I look at their work. Like Yusuke Murata with One Punch Man, like his art is like one of the most fluid fight choreography I've seen in like comics. Like very fluid, very cool to watch. Like the poses, the way he makes his characters. Like I like how would I what's the word for that? Is it lively? Is that the word? They look very noodly, like the physique of his characters, both male and female. They look like they have this noodle like physique. Like he could just draw like a body, like a guy's body like this, and like just make the V taper like crazy. And it would look very attractive and cool. Yusuke Murata is really good, man. Like that would be the chest, right? And then he would just, and he would probably be a fighting pose, and then he would just, I don't know, man. Like he's just really good. He would just do something like that guy is just crazy. That guy is just crazy. And which other manga artist? Yes, is it Takashi Obata? Is that his name? The guy that did Death Notes. Yeah, Death Notes. Takashi Obata is also one of my favorites. Really great artist, man. Bakuman is one of my favorite manga like ever. Like especially because of, not necessarily because of, like the story is really good, but like I like how he um like I like how he just broke the Japanese like manga comic book industry. Um, so I'm just going to erase this and add my characters Google's. Mm, put this behind. Yeah. So yeah, that story is really fun. Like any manga artist, I would recommend they actually check Bakuman out. It's such a good read, man. Such a good read. And you learn a lot. It's funny. There are a lot of fun characters um, there. Like it's just cool how like two guys just came together and created a comic, and they failed and then they started again, and there's just so much good story there. The amazing work. And it has great reread. Is it reread value? Is that a word? Reread, reread value. Um, Takashi Obata, amazing. I haven't read Death Note manga, but I've watched the series. I didn't finish it though, because as soon as what's the name of the main character? That main detective character that was chasing the villain guy. The would they call him an anti-hero now? I think he's a villain, man. The villain guy, as soon as they killed him, like they wrote his name, like I just got pissed off because I really liked that detective guy. Like such a smart character. Um, but I haven't read the manga because you know I don't want to say that I'm snobbish to stories, but like if I read your story and like the art is not so great, it's it's quite difficult for me to follow a story that doesn't have good art. Most especially because I'm an artist, so I care a lot about the visuals because I always want to learn something from like the artist. Um, yeah. So whenever like I look at a story and the art is not good, so that's why a lot of my like favorite comic books or manga, despite the fact that the story might not be up there in terms of like writing, um, the all I call it, but the art is what makes it like one of my favorite comics or mangas ever. I don't know if I'm alone in that. Anyways, I'm going to try and like copy his eye here. Yeah, yeah. I think that's cool. Anyways, that's him. And let me add the blacks. I've been saying that for a long time and I haven't done that. Spent more than an hour doing this, man. That's so slow, but I just had to get this out, man. I had to get it. The hands are probably too big. Um, their hands are definitely too big. I could adjust that. Well, you know what? I won't. I might, but I won't. I might. Should I? Nah, man. I'll leave it. It's not so horrible. It's not so horrible. What I did yesterday, that was horrible. That was horrible. Um. Anyways, just filling out the blacks. Light direction very important. Seems the light is coming from above. I think. Is it from above and then the side? From above and the side. Think somewhere like this. Something like that. Anyways, I'm going to try and get it accurately, the shading. So we know we have our LATs in this area, and it's supposed to have like something like what would I call it now? Mm, it's supposed to have like, yeah, it's supposed to have something like that. Let me just cover it a bit. Hmm. Okay, I think yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, that's nice. I think it goes all the way to his biceps. Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna put it at the break here. Let's see. Those are looking okay. That just means this is going to go all the way down here. I think this will come like this. Did I get that right? Yeah, it will come like this. I think like this, and then like that, and then like that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, and it's proportional as well. Right. The reason why that area is black is because of his cape, and my character doesn't have any capes, so I'm just going to put a highlight there. And also, if you look at his arm as well, the black on his left arm is because of his cape as well. So his cape is providing the shadow. So that is his obliques. Then yeah, That's cool. And then because these areas of the muscles always confused me because I didn't know the difference between the obliques, the serratus anterior, and the rectus abdominis because I didn't know they were like three patterns. So whenever I saw something like that in like three sections, I mean, and then the lats as well. So whenever I saw an artist do like all these lines around the torso, I was always confused. Um, up until recently when I decided to do a proper study of the torso and you know wasn't confused anymore. And you can see that texture I talked about I think 2 days ago, where you see that he applies texture a lot rather than just using hatching lines. Like he uses hatching lines, but he uses it. He's a bit lax with it. What the hell is going on here? Why is this not filling? Now, must be trolling. Just gonna call it, and then I'm just going to use for some of the textures that look weird. I'm just going to use hatching lines to just like define them so that so we have I'm just going to do that like that. The abs, that's cool. Really good art, man. Really good art. I'm sure he probably did this in like maybe an hour or something. Um, and then you can see that, but that shading won't be there because of we don't have a keep behind our character. So whenever you're doing all these studies and you want to make a different adjustment, it's quite good to you know understand the environment of the character you're copying. I'm just gonna do that like that, and then his pectoralis also there. Yeah, and that's looking quite clean. Um, for this area, I think I'm just going to put this this lighting like this. I won't put anything too much. Um, so that's uh, because of the lighting and light direction. Also, we could also argue that the positioning of the torso is also going to create shadow in that area. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's cool. Let me erase some parts that actually just add some depth to this area. Yeah, that's looking cool. Um, Bye Ransford. Are you saying bye or hi? 'Cause yeah, bye. Bye, man. Bye. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, I hope you have a great day. Yeah. Um, Yeah, and see you soon. Um, see you soon. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You've always kept me company for the past week, ever since I started doing this live thing. Thanks to you and Adam, and others that also, and Johan, that also, and Amir as well. They also pop in and out and say hi. Um, Thank you so much. I think we got that part. Could just do that, and, and then this area, I'm just going to put it black. Wow, the way he applies this texture sometimes, so good. Yeah, it actually looks like he just applied this texture here, like this. But what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to hatch this area like this. Me, ideally, you would like to put this shadow around, just applying the black. Another artist I would really like to study is Gary Frank, and it's someone I just recently started actually paying attention to his work. I've read a lot of his work, but I haven't like actually taken note of his like taking note of him. But I've seen a lot of his work, and where like what really got me to really take note of him was his recent series that I think he's working on with Ghost Machine, and that is I think Geiger. I think Geiger. And then I went on and I looked at I think was it something Joe, that was the name of the comic he worked on, about this robot soldier that fought in, was it the Vietnam War, um, and he befriended this comic book artist, cartoonist or comic book artist, or whichever one, and he came back to his life decades later, and they are this like organization that are sort of looking for the robots. Nice story, great art. Um, Probably one of my favorite faces. Um, I would say which comic book artist do I enjoy the way he draws faces the most? Um, I would say I like Inouye's faces a lot. Uh, but I think there are different things I like. It depends on like artists I like to copy their drawing, like the way they draw faces, and artists that I just enjoy looking at their faces, not necessarily that I would want to draw faces like them, but I just enjoy looking at their faces. So artists that I would like to draw faces like them, Gary Frank, yeah, would be number one, and who else? I probably is it Mokoto Yukimura, the guy that did Vinland Saga. But how that would work, I don't know, because I also like Inouye's, the way Inoue draws faces as well. Like I really enjoy it. And then another person's face I really like is hmm, let me think. What artist do yeah, I really like Dan Mora's faces. I really like Dan Mora's faces. I really like Dan Mora's faces. I've, yeah, yeah. I could pick a thing or two from Damora's the way Damora draws faces. I could pick a lot actually. I could pick a lot. Anyways, I enjoy Greg Capullo's faces, the way he draws them. Um, he has really great shape language with his faces. And not necessarily draw like want to draw faces the way he draws faces, but I would um if there's anything I would I really enjoy the most from Greg Capullo is the way he draws expressions and the way he draws hands. I really like the way he draws hands. He probably has my favorite hands in comics. Um, yeah, like the way he draws hands is just different. It has that cartoonish style, but the way he hatches it, man, like it just looks so good. It just looks so good the way he hatches it. Um, Greg Capullo's hands are amazing. I should do a study of him. I think the only time I've done a study of Greg Capullo's art is when I was doing what exactly? I was doing yeah, I was doing a video where I was studying the nose, where I was studying noses, and I got Art Gem, I got David Finch, no, I got Jim Lee, I got Gary Frank, I believe that's the name. I got Gary Frank, and I got who else? I got Boichi, yeah, I got Boichi, and I got did I get Inoue? I don't think I did. I don't think I got Inoue. I didn't get Inoue. I got Boichi. I just like sort of studied the way they drew noses, and that was good fun. Good fun. Good fun. And yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this, probably because I wanted to get it correctly. And you know what? I'm happy I spent time on it, man. Sometimes when I try to do these streams, I try to make it fast, energetic, and stuff. But I'm happy with the art, and the way it looks. That arm is going to forever. That hand, I mean, it's going to forever haunt me. So I might as well just fix it immediately. Not the most perfect, but like just fix it a bit. I think I made that hand too big, but I'm going to leave that like that. Dear Joe. Yeah. So thighs are my favorite muscles to draw. And you can see that Mura doesn't care a lot about like the lines, like adding the lines of all the calf muscles. He just cares about simplicity, and you have to admire that. Um, I know artists that would probably pick a different route. And as I'm watching this now, I'm just itching to just add this rectus femoris muscle over here. Um, but I'm just going to restrain myself. I'm just going to restrain myself. He just does it simply, and um, you know, when the colorist just adds the colors, it just looks really amazing. Really amazing. Yo, that's it's actually looking a bit like his work. It's actually looking a bit like his work. Looking a bit like his work. I know these are textures, but I don't think I would ever like just add textures like that on my own work. So I'm just doing it how I would do it. He do be making and he has mastered this texture thing. Um he has mastered it. He and Jorge Jimenez, they are really good with textures. and the way they draw, like, and add values, proper like values and stuff like that. Whenever they draw, they don't just draw black and white. They add values a lot when they walk, and that's cool. Then, yeah, I think we got it. I think that's quite good. Ideally, there will be like a dark area here for the neck. I guess they won't add it, so he doesn't add it. I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool actually. Um, you know what? I'm going to add a bit of black here and there. And to add black here. Um, Hello, Random Wizard Art. You said, what's my favorite comic artist or art style? To be honest, I have a few. I have a few comic artists and art style. So I have those that I enjoy looking at, but I wouldn't want to draw. Like, I wouldn't want, because I'm an artist, I care a lot about what I can learn from an artist. So artists that I like, my favorite artists. So I have like a tier, right? Artists that I enjoy, but like, they are my favorite of all time. Like, my favorite artists of all time. I have Jim Lee up there. Yeah. I have Inoue, Takehiko. I have Yusuke Murata. I have um, I have David Finch. Even though he's a very humble guy, he's a legend in my eyes, though. And I have I believe his name is Mokoto Yukimura. Mokoto Yukimura. Um, uh, and Boichi. Now, all these artists have different art styles, uh, and I learn a lot from just looking at them. So for someone like Yusuke Murata, now I like him for his fight composition. For his fight composition, um, like, he has one of my favorite fight compositions in comic, like an action sequences. I like Jim Lee for just his art style. The way he does everything is just really cool to look at. It's just amazing the way he just does everything. And if there was a way to just look at his art in black and white, that would be my favorite. I really like the colorings are nice, but if there was a way to just look at the inks, I know he just does the pencils, but there's a way to just look at the inks or just the pencils, that would be really nice. Inoue was the one that made me get into cross hatching. Even though I had read all this the works all these artists had done and had seen their cross hatching. It's probably because it's just black and white. Inoue's work, especially his work in Slam Dunk, was what made me get into cross hatching, because his work in Slam Dunk, the cross hatching was quite simplistic, but they were very effective, especially like the speed lines and things like that. And then his art in real is just crazy. And then David Finch, I like David Finch the way because of the way he draws muscles. I like how much detail he adds to muscles. I like how rugged and masculine his characters look. Jim Lee has that as well, but I like the way David Finch does his own. Um, like, I don't his faces aren't my favorite, but um, what is my favorite is the way he draws masked characters. Masked, is it masked? Masked characters. I like how he draws masked characters. They are very cool. They look very menacing. But like the actual faces of characters, I don't really enjoy his normal character faces. And then Mokoto Yukimura, I like his fight scenes. I like his fight scenes. I like how his characters look, the faces of his characters. I like the faces of his characters. I like how they look. And I like the expressions as well. Yeah, he has this realistic art style. In the beginning, it wasn't like that, but you could see like he just evolved into like just check Vinland Saga. Like the way his art just evolved, and it's black and white. It's just really cool, amazing. Boichi, now Boichi, like he has a lot of skill with everything. Like what do I like about Boichi's art? Boichi's art just looks cool. Like his art just looks. I think I like the way he draws muscles as well. It's quite different from David Finch, like his hatching style. Like I read, I forgotten the name of the manga he did, but it's Sunken Rock, I believe that's the name. Sunken Rock, I think that's the name. The muscles, I like his faces as well. I like the way he draws faces, male faces. I don't necessarily like the way he draws eyes all the time. I don't like the way he draws his female characters, but I like the way he draws their body, but not like the way he can like his female characters look very beautiful, but sometimes he tends to give them bug eyes, and to me that just puts me off a bit. But like his anatomy is perfect. His anatomy is like it's probably the best. I wouldn't say it's the best among all these guys, but yeah, it's up there. Like I class all these guys as S tier. Um, I don't think there's any artist that I would put in their league in terms of comic book. And they are probably everybody has their own choice, but these are my favorites. These are the guys that I go to whenever I'm looking for references and whenever I want to draw something. Um, I do have my sort of like A tier artists. Um, A tier, just let's say A tiers. I have my A tier artist where I have guys like Yusuke Nomura that did Blue Lock. Uh, I like I like his art because he's doing a football manga, so and I like football. So just looking at his art, I put his art as A tier. I also put most people would argue Takashi Obata is an S tier artist, but I personally I put him at A tier. Because if if they were to pick if any of these artists, right, they were to do a single book, right, whatever it is, like if Takashi Obata were to do a book that Jim Lee did in maybe another universe, and let me just write this. In another universe, I'd probably still pick Jim Lee's version, right? And same for other version. It's not a discredit on this artist. I actually think it's quite insulting, like ranking this artist. But we live in a world of competition and comparison, so apologies for that. But yeah, those are my 80 artists. You know what? What's his name? The guy that did what's the name, man? What's the name of this? My Hero Academia. Yeah, the guy is really good, man. Like he's one could argue he's S tier, but like for me, I'd put him in A tier as well. I've forgotten his name though. Um, I'd probably put him in S tier, but if Nomura is in A tier, probably and Obata is in A tier. And Obata will probably be the top of A tier, probably sneaking into S tier, but yeah, I really like Obata, man. But these guys are different for me. Yeah, but so those are the art styles I like. Yeah, Korei Horikoshi, that's his name. Yeah, Korei Horokoshi. That's his name. Yeah, Kohei, I believe, not Korei. Yeah, I'm just going to write Kohei. Kohei. He's really good. Um, yeah, he's really good as well. Like I love the way he simplifies. Like he's so good at character shape, man. He's so good at character shape. He's an artist, man. Like he's an artist. Like he's just amazing. Like I'm sorry, he's just too good. Like probably in a few years, if I go back and read My Hero Academia (MHA), I'll probably put him in S tier. But like at the moment, those guys are top for me. And which other artists do I like? But those guys I first of all mentioned. Um, but the guy that I draw a lot of influences from, like in art, because I at a point I was getting influenced by Yusuke Murata in terms of how he draws faces. Um, but then I then went back to David Finch, and I've been drawing like David Finch for, well, not a while. I draw poses that I try to copy David Finch, but they don't look like his work. The aim isn't to look like his work; is to try and pick a thing or two from his work. But yes, um, Yusuke Murata's art covers are really amazing. Um, is that what they're called? Art covers? They are probably one of the prettiest I've seen. Although if we are talking about art covers, there are artists that would there are different artists that I would look at. For like example, I think is a Malaysian artist called Keogu, Keel. I don't know if but this is how they spell his name. Yeah, Keogu. Probably one of my favorite cover artists. So good. Korei Horikoshi said you love the way he draws hands. Yeah, like apart from just hands, I love the way he draws everything. Like, I love the way he draws everything. He has that just chill, relax, I got you type of comic book art style, where you know you just feel relaxed reading his comic. In as much as there's supposed to be tension, like especially with the My Hero Academia, I didn't really feel tension like reading his comic. I just felt, oh, that's a cool panel. Oh, that's a cool art. Oh, that's really amazing. That's what I felt reading his comic though. Um, but yeah, I didn't really feel like tension. Like his expressions are really cool. Like he knows how to draw funny expressions. Like he's just a great artist, man. He's a top artist. Like I love Korei Rukoshi. Amazing artist. Um, and I always like how he appreciates his assistants when he finishes a volume. Like he will just shout out his assistants, and that stuff is just cool. Um, just shows him as a warm personality. Yeah, Korei Horikoshi, amazing artist, man. And also, it's not like a knock on the art. Most of the characters in the that I just put in this A tier, insultingly of me or stupidly of me, they're mostly artists that I rate their art amazingly, but I wouldn't like want to draw in their art style. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's just it. Those are the art style I like. I wouldn't these guys I mentioned here, I wouldn't mind drawing like them, like any of them. Like if I were to pick a permanent art style and someone just pointed a single one of them, I'd be cool with it. Um, Probably the least I wouldn't be cool with would be Yusuke Murata because he has this cartoon style, and there's nothing wrong with the cartoon style. It's just I do like a bit of realism. I do like a bit of realism with my work. Like, yeah, yeah. Let me just do another. Let me draw this character to the side here. Um, this what's his name? Like Inoue. Why I like Inoue because what really inspired me about his art is that he's the way he draws, like what would I call it, like movements. I really enjoy it, and the way he does, like, it's a sports manga, right, that he's doing, with like real and what's the name of the other manga, Slam Dunk. But the way he draws it, it's it's just the sequential, the sequences of the scenes. It's just so beautiful. It's just so cool. And you know, apart from that, I like how he kind of maintains consistency, um with, you're drawing comic, right? Not every panel is going to be like realistic and stuff. So um but still he tries to maintain that style, and it's just fun to read. And I just, I screenshot a lot of his scenes so that I can use as references. And then Vagabond, I haven't still finished that story up to today. Great, great story. Just amazing work. Beautiful work. I hope he finishes the story though. Um, I don't think he will, man, because I just think he just got jaded. I think he got jaded. I think that head should be longer. Yeah, there's another artist I need to give a shout out to. I've forgotten his name. But he did a manga about like a vampire. It's like a sort of like a vampire story, and it's a really, I think it's a vampire. Yeah, he did climb. Is it Climber? Climber is the name of the series. I think he did Climber. I've forgotten his name. Let me just check it. Do a quick search. Climber. Climber manga. Yeah. So the name of the artist is Morio Buntaro. No. That's the name of the person. Written by Shinji Sakamoto. Yeah, that guy is top notch. That guy is top notch. Like, he does details in work, in like his details, like they are just like sometimes I'm just like, yo, I mean, I like realism, but bro, yeah, you're doing too much. Like, he's awesome, man. He takes the art to another level. Um There are also some cool comic book art styles I've seen. There was one about like a zombie apocalypse that is just it was just a guy. Not the one about like 100. I think he did like 100 list zombie listing. Not that one. There's another one. I've forgotten the name, man. Yeah. No, but because I enjoy these art styles doesn't mean I don't read other like manga works. Um, I enjoy Naoki Urasawa's work, even though I haven't read all of them. I'm currently reading what's the name of that one? I've forgotten it. Something about boys. I've forgotten the name. 20th Century Boys. Yes, 20th Century Boys. 20th Century Boys. Yeah. I think I'm in chapter 100 and something. I can't remember. Hmm. I've noticing like there a lot of the artists these days in Western comics, most of them, they are beginning to have a lot of manga influences as well, and with the way they draw faces and eyes. Like if you look at Jorge Jimenez, his art style is really cool, and he has this manga arts. It's a bit manga-ish sometimes. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really cool. I just wish they like most of these comic book houses did like black and white, like where they could release like a series that they are doing, maybe Batman, any Batman work they do, or any of these Marvel, DC, like if they release the work in colored, they also release it in like just black and white so that we could really see the artist work. um I guess manga spoiled me like that. Nothing against the colorists, just um, I feel I appreciate the artist works a lot more when I have their inks, because they do post it online, but it's just not the same like as when, like, if you were to get a whole book of their black and white. Yeah, another artist I enjoy is what's his name? The guy that did a Good Night Pum Pum. I haven't still finished that story, by the way. Very weird story. Very story can mess someone up. Can't lie. But it's also very relatable. Um, very relatable. Yeah, I think I messed up with the detailing of this. I might have to adjust it a bit. I think I made her too manga-ish, and he didn't do that. Also, the coloring is quite important. He does have tendency to give the women he draws a bit of dark lips here and there. Um, so that is something to note. I hope that looks okay. That doesn't look perfect, man. Yeah, that's a cool way to draw the eyebrow. I see that with a lot of artists. Different sections of the eyebrow having um, different shapes and different directions. Hmm. I think I went too far with the nose. Anyways, I think that's cool. Mm, that's not bad. Mm, let's see. Ooh, been here for quite a while. I mean, let me wrap it up a bit. I'm quite proud of this one I did, man. Quite proud of it. Uh, like studying his work it's actually been fun. I can't lie. Amara's art is fun to look at and fun to draw. I can imagine myself drawing this a lot as a child. a lot, like a lot, like a lot. That's cool, man. This guy is good. Can't lie. So good. You really have to, you know, these art styles, they look simple, but they're really not, man. If you don't understand like head construction and stuff like that, you could get lost and end up drawing rubbish like I did yesterday. So yeah, I mean he has that manga style, all right. And this is what I just appreciate about a lot of artists. The way they are just able to like just simplify things. Just able to simplify things. And he's the iris, he doesn't do too much, does he? Doesn't do too much. I mean that's quite a big drawing, and you would think that he would add more detail to the eyes, but he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Drawing the side eye or three-quarter eye will never not be a challenge for me. It's always a test. Okay, that looks good. That looks okay. Let me flip it and see how horrible it might look. Okay, that looks fair. That looks fair. That looks decent. Looks decent. Then her nose is a bit curved. Has that pigeon nose or penguin nose, whatever they call it. He doesn't add a lot of details, man, to the of course, uh, when you draw like females, you want the drawings to be soft so that the character is going to be pretty. I want to end up with an drawing an ugly woman, unless that is your intention. Very simple. I am happy I got this, man. I got it in one go. I got it in one go too. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so that's nice. That'll be her lipstick shine or lipstick gloss, whatever they call it. Yeah, yeah, that was nice. Probably feel it looks weird though, a bit, just a bit. Maybe this eye should be higher up or something. Let me flip it. You know what? I'm leaving it like that, man. I'm leaving it like that. Um. Anyways, yeah, I might need to raise this a bit, man. It's looking a tad bit weird. It's looking a tad bit weird. Hmm. All right, eyebrows. eyelids. Yeah, and that looks cool. I'm just going to put that like that. You know what? I should have the glasses, man. I should have the glasses. Okay, the way I do glasses is because I'm a bit scared of glasses, and it pissed me off a bit. I can't lie. So I just usually draw a guideline whenever I'm drawing glasses, and yeah, I just try to follow that guideline. It's annoying, and see, even with the guidelines, I'm not getting it how I want. Yeah, so there's a bit of a like perspective, I think. That's how the glasses look. Anyways, um, that's how I draw glasses at least. Then I'm going to add this. Yeah, and then yeah, I just have to use references for glasses every time, man, because if not, I will just end up doing something ridiculous. Do I have any advice for style studies or style mimicry? I'm trying to get more into animation, and I've been told that's a super important skill to pick up. Yeah, so I don't know a lot about animation. I'll be honest. Animation was actually the industry I wanted to focus on, um, but I just didn't have the computer for it, and I like comics too much, so I had to just concentrate on one. Yeah, so also those eyes look amazing. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, Wizard. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so with regards to animation, like I said, I don't know anything about animation. Um, I just know the process, but I don't know anything more. But with regards to style mimicry, what I would suggest is you sort of do the thing that I did here. You sort of pick the artist that you like, or your favorite artist that you actually want to draw like, and then pick one or two things from them, and then you improve, right? And just copy their drawings. Like the way I improve is that I do something like this. I would have my own character, because you're not always going to draw what the artist is drawing, right? So you might always need to draw your own character, like, or a project. You'll be working on a different project. You won't be drawing exactly what that artist is drawing. So, for instance, if David Finch draws a lot of Batman, I won't be drawing a lot of Batman, so I'll be drawing a lot of my characters. So I would try to copy David Finch drawing in that pose. So and it's not just one drawing I'm going to do. I'm going to do a lot. So I could probably do 10, 20, 40. I haven't done that, but that is the suggestion I would give. I've done a lot of drawing inspired by like David Finch's work. Um, but that's what I'll do. I would look at how they draw different situations. Like if they do fight scenes, you look at how they draw fight scenes. That's if it's comic book art. I don't know about animation. I think animation you have to, because different studios have the unique styles that they work in. Like the Castlevania style, Castlevania. I mean, um, the guys that did Castlevania, they have a unique style in comparison to like Studio Ghibli and um, what are these guys that did Jujutsu Kaisen? They have a different style to them. So what I'm saying. So what I would suggest is that you have to, like in anything with drawing, anything related to drawing, or drawing art, I would suggest you learn art fundamentals first. And when I talk about art fundamentals, I'm talking about like just anatomy mostly, because anatomy is usually the most important because you are going to do a lot of figure drawing with animation. So um, you learn anatomy, because what anatomy is going to help you to do is that it's going to help you with construction. Because yes, what I was telling you about like yesterday was that I was doing this drawing, this with this Superman drawing, and I wasn't liking what I was doing. But coming back to it again today, I figured out my problem. And things like negative space and things like understanding the underlying anatomy is going to help you easily break down an artist's art style. But if you don't understand anatomy, how the face works, the different ways to draw a nose, um, it's going to be quite difficult for you. What I mean by that is that, um, let's say we are drawing a nose, right? A nose, we have this called a keystone area, right? And then you have the bridge of the nose, right, which is divided into two cartilages, the upper and lower cartilages. And then you have the the nostril area, and then the wings of the nose, and then the maxilla of the nose, right? This is just simple construction of the nose, right? But then you need to know these basics and how to construct a nose simply, because it's going to help you with, like, if you are drawing a nose in this angle, right, for instance, and you're having issues with it, you could just simply break down this nose into a triangle, right? This nose is simply a triangle, and you could just then use that to draw. What this will help you to do is that, irrespective of the fact that you're drawing a nose, right, and you know how to draw a nose realistically. You need to know how to draw a nose realistically, even from memory, or know how, like, the anatomy of the nose, like how it works, and how it looks. What is going to do is that it's going to help you whenever you encounter a style or an artist that always draws his nose like this, right? It's going to help you understand how the artist is going to draw that nose, when that character is looking upwards. Um, when that character is looking upwards, it's going to help you to know how to place the nose. When that character is looking sideways, I mean, it's going to help you know how the artist, you instinctively sort of know how it works. Um, Easily. And the same thing with the mouth. So that's why, like, studies that I'm doing at the moment is important, because once I figured out, done a couple of drawings of this Dan Mora's art, this is the mouth in a different angle to how the mouth looks in this angle, because how that character draws, how this artist draws a male's mouth versus a female's mouth, is what makes his art unique. And it's the same thing whenever you're looking at a studio art, right? Do they make their eyes bug eyes, right, really big, like, and cute, like for the girls, and then for the guys, like, do they make their pupils large, and then their nose, like, and then their mouth cute? And do they make their jawline, like, really thin, right? Do they make their jawline really thin for the women, or do they, like, curve it at the end? Do they curve it at the end like this? So those little artistic choices and preferences is what's going to determine the art style and keep it unique. Like, there are anime arts that I've seen that, no matter how the hair is drawn, you can be able to still see the eyes of the art of the character. So yeah, I would say just learn anatomy first, the basics. It can be quite stressful and so boring, but just learn the you could just learn structure, um instead of, like, anatomy, because you could just learn structure. Once you learn structure, what I mean by structure is that, like, simple shapes that actually make drawing easier. And with that, you'll be able to draw anything and from any angle, um, no matter what. So I'm talking about circles, triangles, cylinders, and or cones, and cubes. So once you have these basics down, it's going to be easy for you to mimic an art style. And I'm not the master of this, so whenever if I'm to copy an art style or mimic an art style, I'll probably have to look at the artist's work over and over again. um yeah, so just copy the artist that you want to draw like a lot. um Copy their art style, and eventually, if the goal is to find your own art style, you will. And someone could just look at your art and say, you took inspiration from this guy. And if you are working in a studio, what you could do is that you could do mini projects. Like if you want to work in a studio, you could do mini projects where you just try to screenshot. I did this a lot when I was young. um you could just screenshot a lot of the drawings in the anime or cartoon, so that you can, like, that's if it's 2D. I don't know if you're talking about 3D, because I have no advice for 3D. I don't know anything about 3D animation. um so like just screenshot a lot of the art, and you see like a lot of the still frames, and just draw from that and draw it over and over again. And then you try to copy the animation that they've done, because once you copy it, you like the exact animation, once you've copied it, you will sort of get a feel for the decisions that they are making. And then based on your understanding of the fundamentals, um, you would get it better and you get it faster. Um, like like a professional, how do I call it now? Um, let me say, a professional basketballer, um, it's possible for him to mimic a skill that another basketballer has done, rather than for a random, what would I call it now? A random spectator to mimic that fellow basketballer skill. The reason why it's easy for that basketballer to mimic that fellow basketballer skill, even though that is not his playing style, right? We have brutes, like people that are like they use their physicality a lot. They have players that have a lot of flair. They have players that have the they keep the game simple. They use their IQ a lot. So they have different types of player. But the reason why a footballer can copy like a skill move or a style of play that another basketballer can, is simply because they understand the fundamentals. They understand how to get to the level that fellow basketballer has gotten to. So yeah, that's my own takeaway from that. That's my own understanding. I'm sure there's a lot of gaps there, but hopefully that's helped in some way. But it's all about practice, though. It's all about practice. I'm drawing a lot. Um, it's so simple, but it's so simple in theory, but it's not in practice. It's quite boring actually in practice because, well, I don't find it boring though, but like especially if it's an artist you like. I could draw David Finch a lot, like a lot of his work over and over and over again. I could draw the same pose he's drawn over and over and over again because it just fascinates me. But sometimes, if you're aiming to work in a studio, work can become boring and work can be stale. So, if you're aiming to work in a studio, they might give you an art style that you don't like. Maybe Studio Ghibli's art style is not something that you particularly fancy. Um, and then they just give that to you and tell you to animate that. And you have to study the art style, and it can be boring sometimes. And that's why it's called work. Mm, yeah. What do I draw now? I think I'm kind of good. I do like these expressions though. I do like these expressions. You can see how simple it just makes the face. That's quite nice. and the lips. He uses just simple shapes. Look how simple that looks, but it just does a lot and save you a lot of time. Just that, and and he's done. Oh, that's bollocks from me. That's really cool. Like, and he's done with the lips and the nose too. You need all these tricks, and they call them reductions. I learned that from Cynics Designs. Reductions, right? When you've learned the fundamentals like of the anatomy, and then you can then pick what you want to add in your own story. Most artists, they would add just this little thing to sort of like indicate the roundness of the nose, or they would just simply do like this to sort of indicate both the shadow and the form of the nose that they are looking at. So, all about artistic choices and preferences. I think I'll end that there for today. I'll do another stream tomorrow, and hopefully the network will be good as well. Today was quite fun. I really enjoyed chatting with everyone, from Adam to Ransford, to Adam again, and I really appreciate everyone for saying hi. Thanks, Random Wizard Arts, for asking me these questions. It's nice to feel like you know something and you could actually answer questions that people have. And thanks for engaging and also liking the video. Really appreciate. Hopefully, what I said was helpful. Um, please, if you're just watching the video or coming in, please just give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't. We're trying to get to 2K. It's taking forever, but I know I'll get there. So please help me out, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, peace. How do I